What is going on, everybody? Petra Quick here, and today I'm wearing some pretty sick gear that I got on clearance for $13 at Walmart. I think the original price was $20.25. I couldn't pass that up. I'm wearing 3 pieces of the 8-piece set from Mossy Oak Fishing, and I'll show the other contents here in a second, along with a lure that I found. But you can tell these glasses reflect, and that box right there, that's Monday's video. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so. Hit that bell notification, leave this video a like. Go check out some of my other videos, leave them likes, and drop me some comments. I get back as soon as I possibly can, and I love hearing feedback or just having conversation with everybody who decides to leave a comment. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get off into these other items. Now, the 3 pieces that I'm wearing is this nice snapback hat. It actually has the mesh backing, so it's not going to be too hot. These glasses, and this neck gaiter. It also came with this for the sunglasses. It's a little thick for my liking. It's going to be pretty heavy back there, so I'm not going to put it on the sunglasses, but this does help keep the sunglasses from falling off of your face. So if you have trouble with your sunglasses falling off, you might want to consider wearing this if you find one of these kits too. The other thing that came in this kit was this Mossy Oak knife. This is a nice rubberized handle, except for this gray part here and here. That's plastic. There's the blade. It's got this nice clip here. This is the release to be able to close it. It's very solid. It has some weight to it. Kids, don't play with knives unless you're under parental supervision. And always cut away from yourself when you are using knives. Now, the interesting thing about this knife that came in here is this press button. These blades are interchangeable, and I've never seen something like that. And I'm curious about how durable these actually are. Now, I see that there's a hole here. There's a groove here and a groove here. So I'm going to pull on this really hard and see just how well the interlocking mechanism is. So we can see if this blade will just pull out with regular strength, or if it's pretty secure in there and you can somewhat trust it. I won't know the full durability of it unless I actually go out and try to test it on some other stuff, but we can test to see if the interlocking system to keep this blade in place can be pulled out with just a normal person pulling it. So, sliding it back in. Clipped. I just heard it pop. So I'm going to put my right hand on it because I'm right-handed and I'm not sure if I really have more strength in my right arm or not, but I'm going to pull it as hard as I can, and you're going to see my hand shake to know that I'm actually doing it and pulling it hard. And my hands are starting to slip because of the grease or the oil that are on my fingers. I am pulling that really, really hard, and it is not wanting to come out of it. So I can say that that is pretty secure, which is nice to know because it was something that I was concerned about when I first saw the design of it. The blade is actually pretty sharp out of the box, so that's also a plus. And there's the other 3 blades that it comes with, which makes the 8-piece set. The knife, the extra 3 blades, the hat, the glasses, the gaiter, and this here for the sunglasses. So, for $13, I couldn't pass it up. And the reason being is because you can never have enough gear when it comes to sun protection. When you're out on the water, whether it's on a boat, on the bank, you always want to make sure that you have the proper protection. The sun, it's wonderful, but it can also be very dangerous at the same time. The only thing this didn't come with, which I wish it would have, instead of this thing here, were some gloves. If we would have got a pair of gloves in this pattern right here to match it all, that would have been really sick. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. However, it doesn't mean that I can't talk about the safety of being protected out in the sun when it comes to your hands as well. They do make gloves, certain companies do, and you can buy them. And if you don't have some, pick some up If not, just make sure that you use sunscreen. I had a really bad experience kayaking. I wore shorts, I usually wear pants, and I had sunblock on everything except my legs. I wasn't thinking. And the day, it was like 98 degrees, the sun was beating down, there was no cloud in the sky, super clear, beautiful water where I was at, and my legs were starting to burn. So to cool them down, I would take the water and splash it on my legs. That is a big no-no. That is something you do not want to do. And I wasn't thinking because I was just, my legs were already burning. And because of me doing that and being out there for about 5 hours, I ended up burning the nerve endings off of my legs. And I ended up not being able to walk for about 3 weeks. I had to rub silver sulfate on my legs to help with the burns that I caused. And I also had to sit in the living room in a storage tub full of icy cold water to get the swelling down so it didn't cut off the circulation because the pressure or the swelling was making problems for my veins and blood flow in my legs. So it's a very dangerous thing, and it was just a simple accident that I could have prevented, and I didn't. So sun safety is very, very important. If you don't have gear like this, sunscreen, make sure it's a decent amount of sunscreen, like a 50 or 60 SPF, or even higher, and make sure you apply it every few hours. It's very important to always stay safe when you're out there on the water. Just like in my last video when I got the water bottles, hydration is also key when you're out there in those hot months. So just make sure that you take care of yourself out there on the water. Now that we're done with the safety, let's go ahead and go into the lure. This lure that I have in my hand, there was 8 of them at the store when I first went. And when I got all this stuff, there was only 1 left. And the reason being is because I was, not using my fisherman brain. And I was like, you know what? This lure isn't going to sell right now because we can't even use it. It's ice fishing season. There's ice over everything. And instead of my instinctual, we should probably get one because collecting bait is a good thing and we want it for the next season. And if we don't pick it up, somebody else might, and then we will miss out on getting it potentially because of the way that, the stores have been with fishing products. So, fortunately, there was 1 left and I was able to get one. And I'm glad I got it to show it off because it is very unique. This is a Yozuri. I don't remember where I put the packaging, but it's a 3DB Crayfish. It's slow sinking. And when I first picked it up, I thought that these were hard plastic too, but they're not, as you can tell. They are soft plastic, and they will make some pretty decent action. It's got this double hook here, like a frog hook in a sense, and this weed guard that goes underneath it. The weight is right here in the belly, back here, and there's a slit here to help with water, or up here, to help with water to come out of it. And there's this jointed tail here where the tie-on is. Now with this being a slow sinking, you're going to cast it out there. And it's going to go to the bottom really slowly. Your tie is going to be on here. And then you're going to jerk it. And let the line slack. And it's going to look like a fleeting crayfish. And then it's going to slowly sink back down. And it's going to sit up kind of like this. You're going to do it again. Slowly sink back down. And again, and slowly sink back down. And that's the pattern and the rhythm that this is meant to be used with. And these are going to be kicking and making some water. There is one little rattle in there. At first I thought it was silent, and it was just the hooks rattling. But as you can tell, when I hold everything together, there is a little rattle and maybe even a 1 knock in there. So it does have some decent sound in there. And it was just so unique. Man, these Yozuri hooks are very sharp. That barely grabbed me and it's just holding on tight. So Yozuri they're starting to put a little bit more of these into the stores by me. And I mean, their designs, their hooks are very sharp, very eye-catching. They look really nice. They're a little bit on the higher side price-wise. I paid $8.64 with tax, I believe, for this bad boy right here. But, I mean, it was just too cool not to pick one up to show. It looks like the natural crayfish that are around me, crawdads or crawfish, however you pronounce it. It looks just like the ones that are around here. So, when the time comes, I'm definitely going to be trying this out. And I have to decide, am I going to do straight braid on here, or am I going to use something different? And if I use something different, what will it be? What test will it be? Because I really don't want to lose an almost $9 lure. So if you've used one of these or something similar and have a good idea of what kind of line to use, let me know. Because I really don't want to lose it, and I want to catch fish with it, and I want it to be on video for all of you to be able to see it. So I don't want to ruin the chance before I get it. So that's the Yozuri. You've seen the cool gear that I'm wearing. Leave a comment. Make sure to like this video. Remember, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell notification. I appreciate everybody who watches. Thank you for sticking with me, and I will catch you all later.